Hello, theater fans out there. This is Stage Door, a theater podcast hosted by a couple of average guys. And hello, Maumee High School.
Hello.
First time having you guys on. It's been silly that we haven't had you on.
Well, you know, good things come to those who wait.
Oh, thank you.
Very good.
Yeah, that was
Very good start.
So, yeah, I know I've at least tried to get you on before. At least I thought about it. Did I ever get a hold of you before?
We've talked, but your schedule is also super busy.
I know it is. It is busy. We're lucky enough to have a lot of people that want to, listen to the show, be on the show, and support the show, all that good stuff. So we try. And then in the fall and in the spring, it's always like craziest in the fall to get anybody on. In fact, you guys are doing a fall show that we're not having on talk about, are we? What is the show you guys are doing?
Vintage Hitchcock, a live radio play.
Oh, and when is that?
November 3rd through
November
5th.
3rd. So I think we made a point, like we got a hold of you last spring, or you got a hold of me last spring, one of the two. It was like, we need to get you on. Let's talk about what your schedule is going to be. Let's get it in the books 6 months out, please.
Yep.
Yeah, because I know.
We're not talking about that?
No, we are. We
are talking about that.
Oh, no, sorry. I may have
I'm here,
misspoke. I do misspeak a lot. We should know this by now. So
Yes,
sometimes I
that's
misspeak.
true.
We are at the time that you were doing when I contacted you. It was like, oh, it's already booked out. So now let's book you out for the show that isn't going to happen until the next following school year. So here we are, like 6 months later, talking about it. And you were talking with Tom 1 minute before I hit record on this thing about the kids having a vast knowledge of who Alfred Hitchcock is, right?
It has been quite educational.
Yeah.
Yeah, not very many of them are familiar with anything aside from like Psycho, Bates Motel type of
Okay,
thing.
they at least knew that.
They knew that, and some of them knew the birds.
The
So,
birds?
There we go.
At least they didn't know it was like, chicken Alfredo or something like that.
Right. Yeah, see, so it's at least a start.
Yeah.
So this radio show, is this actually one of his movies? Or is this, how do you explain they do this?
So it's The Lodger, 39 Steps, and Sabotage. So three of his short films from the 20s and 30s. And it's just presented as Reader's Theater. We kind of made the choice to say that we are a mediocre radio station. That's not in the script, but we prefer comedy. And so I'm challenging them with the drama, but I was like, oh, let's just add a little comedy on the side.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
it's like, we know we're not going to be super great at this, so go ahead and make it funny.
Make it part of the lore. Let's go.
There you go. A mediocre radio station putting on. So what is it again exactly? It's like three things?
Yeah, so it's three of his short story movies that are they're told in their entirety.
Oh.
And so the kids are challenged to play, one time they're a newsboy, and then in the next show they're playing the murderer, and then they're suddenly like the damsel in the distress. So they get the chance to play multiple characters.
Hopefully you don't know he's a murderer till the end.
No, well, you get your suspicions in a couple of them because Hitchcock, but
You know one of the shows at least, don't you?
39 Steps
That's what I thought.
is aired or is performed locally. I mean, that's been performed within the
So I
past
thought you
year,
knew
so-
that one because
Yeah.
somebody mentioned that before, and you springed up when that was mentioned. And so I don't.
I
I've not
sprang up.
Yeah, you perked up. Your ears went up. I don't know, something like you're like, oh, what? I know that one. So that one. But you said they're performed in their full. So are these short stories then? Is that okay?
yeah, they're pretty short. The three of them put together, it's about an hour and a half, hour 40 right now.
Nice.
So that's
All
not
three
bad.
of them total that?
All three of them plus jingles because it's a radio. So
The jingles.
Yep.
So is there intermission between each one of the?
we're
shows?
presenting it without an intermission. So the way that the script is like they come in and they do the little, oh, hi, audience, welcome to our radio show. And then they go right into the Lodger. And then when Lodger's done, right into a jingle and an ad for stay at the Bates Hotel, I think is one of them.
No way.
Yeah.
But that's when
way.
you have to get them to go to the restroom like everybody else does. You go up during the commercial.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's only 90 minutes though. You said,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
90 minutes. I hope you pee before you leave. That's the motto that Ron and I have when we go on our walks during work. Pee before you leave. That way, there's no reason to miss that.
Now, The Lodger and 39 Steps both have been made into movies back in like the 40s. 40s or 50s.
And Sabotage is also a movie.
That's right, Sabotage is also, yeah. That was,
So we have the movie posters hanging on the set.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's a little referential and stuff.
So, but those must have been longer though, if they're movies, right?
I don't think they were that long. though.
they weren't 30 minutes each.
Yeah,
I mean, they were a lot
no.
longer than that. Yeah, at least an hour, 15, hour 20.
Yeah, they have like action.
Oh.
We're readers theater, so it's
Gotcha.
it's a lot faster when you
Stuff
just
in there, chase scenes.
yeah. It's like, and then they chased each other.
Oh, you're not
Yeah.
gonna have like little shoes on the side going clippity clippity clippity.
Oh,
Maybe a
we
little-
have 3 Foley artists who sit on the stage and make all the sound effects.
Okay, all right. So let's
Yeah.
talk about this whole thing. So I'm sure we have a couple people listening to this episode that are a little bit maybe confused as to what exactly you're doing, a radio show, but it's actually not a radio show, it's a play. It's a play about a radio show.
Right. So if you come as an audience member, it's like you're watching the radio broadcast be filmed live.
Gotcha. So there's 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. How many people on this stage?
19.
19.
Yeah. Originally the script was performed with 5, but I don't like to say no to kids who want to be involved. And so we have 19 kids, and that's counting our tech crew, because our tech crew will actually, when we built the set, we made a cutout in the window that says control booth. So they're just going to sit behind the control
nice.
booth, but be visible.
Yeah.
So
Any lines?
the stage manager has a few lines at the beginning, welcoming the guests
Yay,
and everything.
yeah.
And then our other technician, she doubles as one of the jingle singers.
So these shows were actually done back in the 40s or whatever. Are they performing like they are from the 1940s? So there's costumes and that also, I presume.
Yep, we're doing it. We're keeping it generically the 40s. So it's not like one set year, just to kind of make it easier for us.
Right.
Although we do have a newspaper from 1945 that they're using as a prop,
Well.
which is kind of, I was like, let's not ruin my newspaper, but that's fine.
Oh, it's not ruined my newspaper prop.
I was like, that's all right. I know it's going to get damaged. It's fine. But yeah, the costumes are kind of just like generic-ish. They're more referential than completely period. But we're trying to just make it as vague year as possible. And trying to teach the kids, they had to develop, okay, you're playing Taylor, you're playing yourself, but in the 40s. So first develop a 40s character. Now from there, develop the 4 different characters you're playing amongst the 3 shows.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah. So you first at least have to be from the 40s, then have to be what would a woman in the 40s do for this particular character.
Right. And so when they're not at the mic, because we're going to have 3 microphones in the front that they stand at to say their lines, because it is readers theater. When they're not saying their lines, they're sitting back on the stage. They have to figure out, okay, improv wise, what are we going to do to, pass the time that would be appropriate in a radio studio?
In the 40s. So they're all going to light up and smoke.
We do have a couple. Yep, we have a couple.
Where's the brown liquor? Is that going to be on the stage too?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
In a bag.
It's
don't
the
worry.
40s. I'm just checking to make sure. Yeah.
Oh, they've invented stories. I mean, one girl came up with that she was married to the mafia, and so she dresses very wealthy, and she's got a wad of cash in her purse, and she takes it out and fans herself at one point. And
The wad of money she takes out.
yeah. After she files her nail with a non-existent nail file.
Oh.
She's kind of clueless.
Wow.
And then the guy who's a struggling actor behind her seeds the wads of cash, so he goes into her purse. And
There you go.
there's little bits like
little
that.
things all
A
throughout.
story
it.
amongst the story.
Yeah, and I've let the kids kind of develop as much of that as they wanted, and then I've just kind of shaped it around them to give them a chance to do a little bit of
A
improv
lot of
too.
improving.
Yeah.
A little bit of growth and improving, working off of each other. Like, I love that you have them develop their character first and then have to say, now that you are this 1940s mobster's wife, now what are you gonna? How would you do it?
Yep. And how are you going to switch from playing, the mother in one scene to the next show you are a cop? Like,
Right, but she is legitimately supposed to be the 1940s mobster wife, who then is an actor who plays these other things.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny.
yeah, it's very, very layered, let's say.
That's funny. I'd be like playing it if I was to be like My Blue Heaven with the New Yorkie accent. You come in here. You're too hot. How you gonna melt all this stuff? It's like that's how I would do it all dorky.
Yeah, remember, this is 80 years old, basically, these stories. So is there anything updated, or is it all pretty much set at that time?
Oh, it said at the time, the way Lodger, for example, is written, there's a murder in
What's it called?
Whitechapel.
Lodger?
The Lodger, yeah.
The Lodger.
Yes.
If you had someone living here, they'd be a lodger.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But it's like, when they first read it, I hadn't caught it the first time when I just read it myself. But when we were doing our read through, it references the murders in Whitechapel in the 1880s. And so I'm sitting here like, oh, well, that's Jack the Ripper.
Oh, okay. I have to believe you.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. So you're not actually Jack the Ripper, but it's inspired by that. So, I mean, they're even having to reference things,
Oh, wait. Is the Lodger a horror story? It's Hitchcock, so I kind of
It's
It's
all
suspense.
mystery thriller. Yes.
Okay,
suspense,
so
yeah.
all 3 of these are mystery thrillers wrapped around a comedy feel to them then.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been definitely a challenge compared to what we're used to. Last year we did Clue. It's much more straightforward.
Yeah.
But still mystery,
An actual murder mystery.
Yeah, comedy. So
and with singing.
a little bit. We did the play version of the musical.
Oh, did you?
but, yeah.
Okay. All right. And this is a play for
This
also a radio play.
Yes, radio play with the 2 jingles in there.
Oh, with 2 jingles.
Yes.
Okay, so who are the Foley artists? And explain what that is.
So we have a senior and then a junior and a brand new freshman who's never done a show before.
Oh, beautiful.
And so I put the 3 of them together, and so they're going to produce every single sound effect that you hear on stage using whatever props that we could find.
Really? So no sound effects are coming from the sound effects booth?
None.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, no pressure on them.
Yeah, no. Well, and again, it's a mediocre station,
Yeah.
so it doesn't
Good
have to be
point.
good. So
Yeah. Okay, cool.
like there's a scene where they go into like a pet shop that has a bunch of birds is supposed to be a thing because the birds.
Oh,
And
beautiful. Look, there you go.
yeah, the whole cast just sits
could
there
be
and
a
does it.
lodger.
They just
No,
sit
not
there and
a
make
lodger,
little,
Foley.
they just make a bunch of background Tweety sounds?
Yep, except one of our Foley artists literally sits there and he goes, squaw, squaw, the entire time. And it's priceless.
Let's say that's when the duck comes out or something.
Yeah. And they go to the zoo at one point, so I had to assign everybody a different animal to make noises for. And so, the cast helps with some of the sound effects, but
So just silly crap.
it is silly. I mean, right now he's doing a lot with our primary Foley artist is Tim. He does a lot where he, with his mouth, like the door opens and he's like, whoosh. He just does it like that. I'm like, okay, well, I hope the audience can hear this. We'll put a mic on you. Good luck.
There you go. So they go to the zoo, and then that person's an elephant, and that person's
An elephant?
Yeah.
I can do an elephant.
Elephant, do a giraffe.
I have to put my neck out for that one. My elephant.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
See?
pretty good.
Unfortunately, I just spit all over the microphone.
Yeah, that's a joke I stole from Disney. When you go down to Lion King, they have the different. Here's the giraffe section. Go ahead and make your sound, and everybody just sits there like dummies.
That's pretty funny. That's good.
Well, okay, so 3 shows and no intermission. So how are you transitioning, going from one murdery thing to the next? The commercials.
The
you said.
commercials,
There
yep.
we go. And the commercials. Are these commercials were they part of the actual show and you got them, so you didn't have to come up with any of them?
The lyrics were, the rhythms were not. And so I've left that also to, there's 3 jingle singers. I left their sisters, they're playing. I let them come up with it themselves. So they kind of just picked a song that they all knew and are using that as their melody and then just changed the lyrics.
Oh. So they come up with the song, put the lyrics in the song.
Yeah.
So it can be Baby's Got Back or
Yes.
something like that.
It could be.
What do we have to do to have Stage Door be one of these commercials?
Oh, that'd be fun. Oh. Yeah.
They already have their commercials.
Well, I think, they got the commercials. Maybe next time when she's doing the show. Anybody's doing anything, they need a Foley artist commercial. Tom volunteers to be an elephant.
I'm an elephant and a helicopter.
A helicopter? Did you just... Oh, jeez.
Sorry.
That works.
Everybody's turned us off now. Oh, goodness gracious.
I want to be a Foley artist, obviously.
Yeah, obviously you do. All right. The set pieces. Is there any?
We were originally going to do it very bare bones, like, no sets or anything. But since it's Reader's Theater with minimal blocking, I was like, well, that's going to get boring for an hour and a half. No matter how exciting you are telling a story,
Right.
people want to see something. So
Right, because it's a play. Otherwise, it might as well just be a radio show.
Right. So we did wind up, we put up 3 walls that are the studio, and we have a control booth cut out of the one, and then like the logo, and we have it's a mediocre station, right?
Yeah.
So, radio stations at the time would have had clocks of different time zones that they
right.
broadcast to. We have 2. We only broadcast to New York and Chicago.
Oh, that's
it.
still good, though. That's
Yeah.
not too mediocre. New York and Chicago, that's big time.
The clocks don't work, so really, it'll be really deceptive. But so we have those, and then there is the piano, because there is a piano player on stage who does all the music. And might I add, she doesn't actually play the piano, so she's just making up notes as she goes. She's just hitting random keys.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's fun.
The piano is being played. Is it like, is there an orchestra? Probably not, right? Because
Nope.
it's just a jingle. So,
Yep.
so you have canned music that's being played, probably, right?
Oh no, I'm letting her do all what she's just hitting random notes, and every night it's different. And
1940s. Would you like to borrow an accordion?
Hey, always trying to work the accordion in, aren't you, Tom? It's been a while since you brought up the
It's
accordion
the 1940s.
or the polka.
The accordion
so-
would make more sense because you'd be able to bring it in and bring it out. How many of the small stages would actually have a piano in their studio?
I don't know.
yeah, not as many. An accordion you could at least travel with, and I love the accordion, but
I like it.
yeah. I mean, in fairness, we have worked a didgeridoo into many of our shows the past few years. Yeah. Very often. Even in Clue, the cook comes out and like, hey, time for dinner, using the didgeridoo.
Is dinner bell?
Well, yeah, but she couldn't play it, so she wound up just screaming through it after she like couldn't play it.
That would have been me. I would be like, I give up. Never mind. Let's just do this thing. So Maumee High School, how long you been there, you said?
I've been there for 11 years.
11 years. And how many shows have you been directing or working with, you said? All 11 years?
I have been the producer for all 11 years.
Oh my gosh.
And then tech director, light designer. I've done all that stuff. And this is the 5th show that I've directed.
Really? 5th show in a row?
The 5th play, and then I did one of the musicals.
Okay. Last time I went to the play, you probably directed it. I wonder if it was the Crucible, or is that what it's called, with the witches and they burn them all at the stake and stuff? What was that one called?
Yep, that's the Crucible.
Yeah.
That would have been directed by Sarah Spielman and Sarah Dussault. The two of them are our musical directors, and they kind of go back and forth as to who's directing.
That was the last time
assistant.
I've been there, so I got to get my butt back over to Maumee High School and check out what's going on there. You guys also apparently recently have been hosts to other functions as well in that nice theater.
Yeah, up until COVID, we had dance competitions from all across the country come in and dance.
Really? Across the country?
Yeah, we had some of the big ones. The ones that are now at like the Stranahan,
Mm-hmm.
most of them were over at us. So we had most of February and March, almost every weekend, there was a dance competition.
You were lighting those and teching those, I assume, as well.
Yeah, myself and Dave Lowry,
Wow.
the two of us did.
Is that your position there? Is that what you do at the school? Is technical or anything like that? Or
I teach high school history.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Which is great.
Which
with
is good
Hitchcock.
for Hitchcock. Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah,
circles
it's all
around.
tying back into each other now. You can go in there and be like, that outfit is terrible. It is not period appropriate.
Yeah.
No, Hitchcock is well known for actually being in his movies, even if it's just a simple,
Oh.
Like
should I keep going with this? Or
Yeah, Jen, you going to make an appearance?
No, I will not.
No?
Well, I mean, but does somebody actually come in as Hitchcock anywhere?
Oh.
Or am I ruining something? I don't want to even. Should we stop talking? Or should I move on? Do another helicopter?
Right now,
Do another sound effect.
yeah. Right now, it's not planned, but I have an idea I'm trying to work on. So we'll see
Okay, cool.
if it pans out.
You could come out in the beginning with the shadow, and you could be that person.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll see. I usually like to try to get admin to make cameos where I can. So
Okay. So who are the performers in this show? You said you got young freshmen and everything. So let's get some shout outs to some of these people. Who's in this thing?
well, Iris is our president. She's a senior. She's done most of our shows. So she's the drama club president, and she's she's in 2 of the 3 of the shows in here. And then
2 of the 3 Hitchcock shows
Yes.
within the show. What's the name of the show?
it's Vintage Hitchcock, a live radio play.
Vintage Hitchcock, a live reader's play.
Yeah, they just make mouthful there.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yes. There's no anagrams for that. No pack.
I wish.
Something easy. Vintage. I can't even say it again. But
Yeah.
Vintage Hitchcock. That's what we need. Hitchcock radio performance. There we go.
Yep. And then Chloe Lotta is one of our sophomores. She's the vice president for Drama Club, and she is the announcer. So if you come, she's kind of like the host, and she makes things hopefully make more sense for the audience. It's
There
kind
you
of
go.
confused and lost. So there too, that definitely if you've come to our shows, you've seen them. They've been in everything. I'd say about half of our cast is super experienced, and half of our cast is brand new.
Oh, that's perfect. Though.
Yeah.
That's perfect. So you got a bunch of people who are there who have done all this kind of stuff and can lead by example, and a bunch of other people who are just excited and young and just want to get going.
Yep. This was a big turnover year. The
Gotcha.
past graduating class, we lost about 10 kids who've been doing shows with us since 4th grade.
Forever.
Yeah. So we knew that going in. So we purposely
Since
sought
4th
people
grade,
out.
does Maumee have I guess like a farm system in the elementary schools going up?
I mean, kind of.
My sports reference.
I like that. That was good.
Yeah. When myself and the Sarahs took over the program 11 years ago, in order to grow the program, we opened it up to elementary and middle school kids.
Nice.
And so we had a bunch of them involved. And then in the past few years, we kind of alternate years that we allow the younger
Gotcha.
kids
So you
involved.
produce shows from time to time that would include younger people type
Yep.
thing. So you would do a Music Man that has town's kids or something like that, so they can at least be a part of the situation.
Yeah.
And then you do Hitchcock where they're not invited.
Yeah, no high school. In our musical this year, Chicago, we're not having little kids
No,
in
they're
Chicago.
not going to be in the show.
Probably
not.
You guys
No.
are doing Chicago. Ooh,
Yeah.
When's that going to be?
That'll be in March.
In March. Okay, so you guys got this show, the Hitchcock show, and then you have a musical in the spring.
Yep, and then we do a banquet, and then usually in the summer we do something.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it kind of depends on the year, but we've
Can
done.
you please get a hold of us during the summer?
Sure.
I would love to see what you guys are doing and talk about what you guys are doing there, because summertime, everybody dries up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sun dries
Pretty much.
everybody up, I guess. You got a couple kid shows here and there, but for schools and community theaters, I would like to talk to you guys, because as far as I know, there might be 3 schools in the area doing a summer program. So Northview, Rossford, and you guys.
Well, and ours is kind of, it just depends on if there's anything else happening in the theater during the summer. So whether we can get it. We've done camps for high school kids, camps for elementary kids. We did
Nice.
we did a lock-in where they did a 24-hour play fest type thing.
Oh, nice.
We've done family improv nights. So it's whatever we can. This past summer, we only did one day where one of our alumni, Libby Survey, you guys might know her.
I know Libby Survey.
dropping a name.
She was on, absolutely, yeah.
She sat.
Yeah,
one of
she
those
sat
two
over
seats right
there, and I believe her husband
Yeah,
sat where you're
right.
sitting.
Yeah. Well, they came, they just did a tour, if you will, on a cruise ship with their show. And
Yeah.
so because Libby's an alumni.
Broadway in Love.
Yes, and it
is
was
the name of the
gorgeous.
yeah.
Because Libby's an alumni.
Of course it's gorgeous. They're doing it.
Right. And Libby and I have known each other for a while.
Get out of town.
So she messaged me in the summer and we were talking, and she asked if she could come and use the PAC to the Performing Arts Center to
We already know what that is now.
there we go to just practice once before they leave, so they could have a bigger venue than their house that they've been practicing in. And I said, sure, but can my drama club kids come and
Yeah.
ask questions and like learn a little bit while they're there and kind of make it like a workshop situation. So I mean, I only had a couple of my kids come, but one-on-one with
Oh, big miss on
With
all those
them?
other
Yeah,
kids
no
who didn't
kidding.
come.
Oh, right.
I mean, you totally missed the boat not having. Yeah, that's amazing to have her be able to do that. So.
and she's
And
very
she'd be
good.
perfect for it. Yeah, she's very, very easy to get along
Yeah,
with.
well, she's Glinda, and she is Glinda.
Yeah.
I mean, when you
Yeah.
meet her, she's very sugary and very nice.
And she comes back and she'll, when she's in town and when she's available, she'll do stuff with the program, or she's
That's amazing.
even just come to a couple of rehearsals and like giving them tips or giving them pointers, or even she's come a couple times and done the curtain speech for us. So
Really?
she's still pretty
What's
involved.
the curtain speech?
She'll do like the whole welcome to the show, turn off your phones,
Gotcha.
that type of thing. But yeah, she comes when she can, and we have a couple of things that she's donated to us in terms of like there's a chair and like some dresses and stuff that we try to work in when we can. So
Nice, yeah. And now she's gonna be busier because she's got a baby, so might be a little less often. So
I got a question back on. I'm going back to the play for a second.
yeah, so please do.
Now, a lot of plays, or at least radio shows, back in the 40s and 50s, they were probably performed many times in front of a live audience.
Oh, yeah.
Is this being performed as, like, performed by a live audience, or is this just, the audience is just watching the show actually happen?
the stage manager greets the audience as though they are the live audience watching they produce.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
So is there like an on-air light?
Yes.
Nice.
There's an on-air light, and then we have an applause sign, and they walk across with the applause sign when they want you to clap.
We need one of those, Kyle.
There you go.
We do, because
Yeah.
we actually do need to solicit it. Nobody ever claps for us.
Yeah, and there's one kid who plays his character that we've established is he's the young, like, hot up and comer kind of hammy type of dude,
Oh.
and so he is constantly like breaking the fourth wall, if you will, but not really since they're part of it. And he's like, flirting with the girls and stuff like that
Oh,
in
just
the
like
audience.
Jared Freeman, he's like that too. One of our guys we've had on. He's that hot up and coming guy. Probably flirts with everybody.
Yep, that's what we do that. And then we have one person who's playing kind of like, if you've ever seen Breakfast Club, the Ali Sheedy character, like the kind of weird creeper.
Yeah.
So we have one of our seniors, Clay, is doing that with their 1940s character, very like is asleep some of the show and those types of things. And
Don't want to be here.
yeah, so they're gonna go and like creep out the audience members and like just stare at them awkwardly and stuff like that. So because
We have that here. That's Ron.
Yes.
Ron's the creepy.
We need him here to ask the weird
yeah.
question off the wall. It doesn't have anything to do with the show. Even worse than I do. Talk about derailing shows. He's even better than derailing than I am. So Man, so anyways, you guys are producing this show. When is it again?
November 3rd through 5th.
November 3rd through 5th. So it's almost a little Thanksgiving-y type show. Nice fall.
Where do I get my tickets, Kyle?
Yeah, where do we get them?
On the Maumee High School athletics page.
Oh, so you go to Maumee High School's website.
Yeah, if you go to the high school website, you'll find where it says like athletics, and then on there it'll say buy tickets, but they're not available yet. Not for a couple more weeks.
Not for a couple more weeks. And then I'm gonna go and search it out and make it easier for people to at least follow us to just click on the link and be able to go and buy the tickets. And let's get as many people there as possible.
Yeah.
Show the support for these kids, make sure that they are appreciated in wanting to do these theater performances, especially I would say in these plays and these shows that aren't as, I don't know what you call it, but like as well known.
Yeah, for sure.
It's because everybody's like, oh, I want to do Mean Girls. Okay, yeah, and you're going to get an audience, and not every single girl's going to go out for the show. But I think that the kids that go out for this kind of show, man, those are the hardcore kids, I feel like.
For sure. And we try to just, every year make it a little bit. Some years it is the big show to bring in a big audience. And other years we can be a little bit more experimental. So, last year we did Little Mermaid. So we're like, oh, okay.
Right.
We had the little kids all there and we sold all the tickets because they all came to see the little fish. And that was great. And Clue was, good. So I was like, okay, we can do something slightly different. And we've done that several times. I wrote a modern adaptation of Christmas Carol one year, for example. Yeah, set in Boston. Oh. It was interesting. It was fun. And, that's different. And we were doing it early November, so it didn't compete with anybody at least. But that was fun. And we wrote an adaptation of Great Gatsby that had to be COVID canceled, but was really ambitious. Yeah. So we try to switch it up. The fall play is our theater class because we don't have a theater class. So we use that to learn basics and fundamentals. And
nice.
Yeah.
I like that, though. I think there's something to be said for the kids that go out for these more obscure, hardcore acting type things. Because you look at those performers and you're like, you guys really, really love this.
Yeah.
You're not doing this on a whim. You're not doing this. They're basically going to do whatever the show was you put on, they were going to do it.
Yep.
And so those are the kids I really want to support. Get them out there and keep the love going. Especially these little young freshmen.
Yeah, for sure.
Who are just starting to do it, and hopefully they have a great experience, which I'm sure you'll make sure they do.
Do my best, anyways.